The way you begin your morning quietly decides the direction of your life. This is not just a story about waking up at 5 a.m. It is about discipline, sacrifice, and the invisible hours that shape visible success. In a crowded neighborhood on the edge of a growing city lived a man named Rahim. He was not born poor, but life had slowly pushed him there. His small grocery shop had failed after a new supermarket opened nearby. Debts piled up, customers disappeared, friends stopped visiting. Every morning he woke up late, tired, and already defeated. Rahim believed his poverty was caused by bad luck. He blamed the economy, he blamed competition, he blamed circumstances. What he did not notice was his habit of starting each day in chaos. He slept past 8 a.m. most mornings. By the time he opened his small roadside stall, where he now sold tea and biscuits, the best hours were already gone. Office workers had rushed past. Laborers had already bought breakfast elsewhere. He worked long hours, but earned little. Each evening, he returned home exhausted and frustrated. One night, after counting a painfully small amount of money, Rahim sat quietly outside his house. The street was silent. A cold breeze moved through the narrow alley. For the first time, he admitted something to himself. Maybe the problem is not the world. Maybe it is me. That night, he made a simple decision. He would wake up at 5 a.m. It sounded small, almost foolish. How could waking up 3 hours earlier change anything? He did not have extra capital. He did not have powerful connections. He did not have education beyond high school. But he had control over one thing: his time. The first morning was difficult. The alarm rang at 5 a.m. His body felt heavy. His mind whispered, "Sleep for another hour." The bed felt warm. The world outside was dark. But Rahim sat up. He washed his face with cold water. He stepped outside. The city was different at that hour. Quiet, calm, untouched. For the first time in years, he felt ahead of the day instead of chasing it. He did not know exactly what to do at first, so he began with something simple. He walked. For 30 minutes, he walked through empty streets. He watched shopkeepers preparing to open. He noticed which areas had early traffic. He observed tea stalls that were already busy by 6 a.m. He realized something important. The real business hours started before he ever arrived. When he returned home, instead of going back to bed, he made tea and sat with a notebook. He wrote down ideas. Could he prepare fresh snacks earlier? Could he position his stall closer to the bus stop during morning rush? Could he offer something different? The next day, he repeated the routine. Wake up at 5 a.m., walk, observe, plan. Within a week, he shifted his entire schedule. Instead of opening at 9 a.m., he set up his stall at 6 a.m. near the main bus stand. He began selling hot parathas along with tea. Office workers, bus drivers, and early commuters quickly became regular customers. His earnings did not double overnight, but they improved steadily. More importantly, something inside Rahim changed. Waking up at 5 a.m. gave him something he had not felt in years: control. Before, he reacted to life. Now, he prepared for it. Before, he blamed time for slipping away. Now, he owned the quiet hours no one else used. He started reading during those early mornings: business tips, small investment strategies, and motivational books borrowed from a local library. He learned about budgeting, saving, and customer service. 6 months passed. Rahim was no longer drowning in debt. He had paid off a portion of what he owed. He had hired a young helper to assist during busy hours. His stall was known for being the first to open and the freshest in the area. But the real transformation was not financial. His confidence grew. His posture changed. His speech became steady. He stopped complaining. When neighbors asked how business was improving, he smiled and said, "I found extra hours in my day." One winter morning, a local office manager who regularly bought breakfast from Rahim offered him a contract to supply tea and snacks for staff meetings. It was a small contract, but consistent. That opportunity came not because Rahim was lucky, but because he was present, prepared, and reliable when others were not. Years later, Rahim no longer ran a roadside stall. He owned a small cafe near the same bus stand where he once struggled. A framed note hung behind the counter. It read, "5 a.m. changed my life." People often asked him what was special about that hour. Was there magic in the air? Was it some secret formula successful people knew? Rahim would shake his head. "There is no magic," he would say. "There is silence." At 5 a.m., there are no distractions, no phone calls, no noise, no excuses. It is a time when you can think clearly, plan carefully, and build quietly. Most people chase success loudly. They wait for big opportunities. They dream of dramatic change. But real transformation often begins in the dark when no one is watching. Waking up early did not make Rahim rich instantly. It made him disciplined. It forced him to confront his laziness. It gave him time to improve himself before the world demanded his energy. The secret of 5 a.m. is not about the clock. It's about ownership. When you wake up before the world, you gain hours that others waste. You build momentum before obstacles appear. You invest in yourself before you invest in business. Of course, waking up early is uncomfortable. It demands sacrifice. It means sleeping earlier. It means saying no to late-night distractions. It means choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. But comfort rarely builds character. Rahim's life changed because he changed his mornings, and his mornings changed because he made one decision: to rise when it was easier to stay down. This story is not about a poor man becoming wealthy. It's about a man reclaiming responsibility for his life. If you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or behind, ask yourself one question: how do you begin your day? You may not need more money immediately. You may not need a miracle. You may need structure, clarity, quiet effort. The habit of 5 a.m. is not for showing off. It's not for posting pictures of sunrises. It's a private commitment between you and your future. Because every sunrise gives you two options: remain where you are or rise with it. Rahim chose to rise, and that made all the difference.